Last night was my 3-year anniversary with my girlfriend Megan. For my gift, she handed me a glossy brochure for a high-end gym and a prepackaged salad from the grocery store. I just looked at the stuff, confused. She didn't crack a smile. "Honestly," she said, her voice flat, "it's embarrassing being seen with you anymore. Fix it." The words just hung there in the air between us. I didn't yell, I didn't argue. I looked at the gym membership, then at her and just said, "Thank you." Let me be clear, I'm not a huge guy, but I'll admit I'd let myself go. I'd gained about 30 pounds since Megan and I got together. Life gets busy, you get comfortable. I never thought it was a big deal. Megan never said a word about it, not once. Or so I thought. Looking back now, her little comments make more sense. "Are you really going to eat all that?" when I'd grab a second slice of pizza. The way she'd suggest I wear a jacket on a warm day. I thought she was just being caring or quirky. Turns out she was just ashamed of me. Her gift, if you can call it that, wasn't a suggestion. It was a command. And it wasn't just the gym membership. She had already signed me up for 3 sessions a week with a personal trainer. "Her name is Ariana," Megan said, tapping a perfectly manicured nail on the brochure. "My friend Amber uses her. She's supposed to be really good. Don't waste my money." It wasn't her money. I paid for everything in our relationship. The apartment is in my name, the bills are in my name. Megan contributes when she feels like it, which isn't often. I've never made a big deal about it. I make good money, and I thought we were building a life together. I see now that I was just building her life, and I was becoming an inconvenient, out-of-shape accessory. So I said thank you. Not because I was grateful, and not because I was a doormat accepting her abuse. I said it because in that moment, I understood with perfect clarity that our relationship was over. She didn't see a partner she loved. She saw a project she was disgusted with. Fine. Project accepted. But I wouldn't be doing it for her. I'd be doing it for me. The next morning, I ate that sad little salad for breakfast and went to the gym. My first session with Ariana was brutal. I was weak, my stamina was non-existent, and I felt like an idiot fumbling with the equipment. Ariana was tough but fair. She didn't baby me, but she wasn't judgmental either. She just had this calm, professional focus. She asked me what my goals were. I was honest. "My girlfriend says it's embarrassing to be seen with me," I told her. "So I guess my goal is to not be embarrassing." A flicker of something crossed her face. Surprise, maybe sympathy, but it was gone in a second. "Okay," she said. "We can work with that, but you have to do this for you, not for her. Your motivation has to come from inside or you won't last." She was right, of course. I came home that first day so sore I could barely walk up the stairs to my apartment. Megan was on the couch, scrolling through her phone. "How was it?" she asked, not looking up. "Did you cry?" I just told her it was fine and hobbled into the shower. While the hot water was running, I could hear her on the phone with her friend Amber, laughing. "He actually went," she was saying. "He looked like a wounded old man when he came in. This is going to be hilarious." That became the routine. I'd go to the gym before work, 3 days a week with Ariana and 2 more days on my own. I started eating clean, following the nutrition plan Ariana helped me put together. Megan treated the whole thing like a joke. She'd order takeout pizza for herself and eat it in front of me while I picked at my grilled chicken and vegetables. She'd ask to see my non-existent abs, then laugh and pat my stomach. "Keep trying, big guy," she'd say. Her friends thought it was a riot. They'd come over and she'd make me show them my muscles, and they'd all have a good laugh at my expense. I never gave them a reaction. I just kept going. The first month was hell. I was constantly sore, constantly hungry, and constantly dealing with Megan's casual cruelty. But then something started to change. I dropped 10 pounds. I could lift a little heavier, run a little longer. I started to feel better. The fog I didn't even know I was in started to lift. I had more energy. I was sleeping better, and I was starting to look forward to my sessions with Ariana. Our conversations started to go beyond sets and reps. We talked about movies, about travel, about our lives. I learned that she was putting herself through school at night to become a physical therapist. She was driven and kind and had a sense of humor that wasn't at anyone's expense. She was everything Megan wasn't. Meanwhile, things at home were getting colder. Now that I wasn't eating takeout with Megan or sitting on the couch watching movies with a bowl of ice cream, we were spending less and less time together. My new lifestyle was an inconvenience to her. My getting up early for the gym woke her up. My healthy food was taking up too much space in the fridge. She complained constantly. One night, she told me she was going out with her friends. "Don't wait up," she said. "We're going to a place where I don't have to be embarrassed by my date." I just nodded and kept reading my book. The old me would have been hurt, would have tried to argue. The new me just felt a quiet sense of relief. While she was out, I did something I should have done a long time ago. I logged into our shared phone plan account, the one that was in my name and that I paid for every month. I removed her line from my account. I then logged into the streaming services, all of which I paid for, and changed the passwords. Small things, but they felt like a start. The next morning, she woke up in a rage. "My phone isn't working," she yelled from the bedroom, "and Netflix is asking for a password." I walked to the doorway, holding my gym bag. "Your phone plan was disconnected," I said calmly. "You'll have to get your own." And I changed the passwords on the streaming accounts. "Since you're so embarrassed to be seen with me, I figured we could start separating our lives a bit." The look on her face was a mixture of shock and fury. She was so used to me just absorbing her insults and paying for her lifestyle that the idea of me setting a boundary was completely foreign to her. She started screaming, calling me petty and controlling. She said I was trying to punish her for being honest about my appearance. "You should be thanking me," she shrieked. "I'm the one who's making you better." I didn't argue. I just turned around and went to the gym. My progress started to accelerate after that. By the end of the third month, I had lost all 30 pounds and I was starting to build muscle. I was a different person, physically and mentally. The constant exhaustion was gone, replaced by a steady confidence I hadn't felt in years. My relationship with Ariana had deepened too. We were friends now, genuinely. We'd grab coffee after a session or text about a funny thing we saw. There was a spark there, an easy chemistry that was the complete opposite of the strained, toxic dynamic I had with Megan. Megan, for her part, seemed to have forgotten about her project. She was either ignoring me or complaining about me. She never once acknowledged the changes in my body. It was like she refused to see them, because that would mean her little joke wasn't funny anymore. It would mean I had succeeded without her and in spite of her. Her friends were the same. They stopped asking to see my muscles because there were actual muscles to see now, and that ruined the fun. The breaking point came about 4 months in. I came home from work and Megan was in the living room with a man I'd never seen before. He was sitting on my couch, drinking a beer from my fridge. Megan introduced him as a friend from work. The way they were sitting, the way he looked at me, I knew what was happening. I didn't make a scene. I just went into the bedroom and started packing a bag. Megan followed me, demanding to know what I was doing. "I'm going to stay at a hotel for a few days," I said, my voice level. "I think you should use that time to find a new place to live." She actually laughed. "You're kicking me out? After all I've done for you? I made you who you are." I stopped packing and looked at her. "No, you didn't," I said. "You tried to shame me. You mocked me. You treated me like dirt. The only thing you did was show me that I deserved better. So thank you for that. Now get out of my apartment." Her laughter turned into rage. She threatened. She pleaded. She cried. She said she was sorry, that the guy in the living room meant nothing, that she had been stressed. I just kept packing. When I was done, I walked to the door. "I'll be back on Friday," I said. "I expect you and your things to be gone." Then I left. I spent the next few days in a hotel, but I wasn't hiding. I was planning. I called a lawyer to understand my rights regarding the apartment. He confirmed what I already knew. Since she wasn't on the lease or mortgage, she had no legal claim. He advised me to change the locks as soon as she was out. I also called my brother and asked if he could come over on Friday to help, just in case things got ugly. During that week, I saw Ariana. I told her everything that had happened. We went for a long walk in the park, and for the first time, we talked not as trainer and client, but as two people who were clearly interested in each other. I told her I was getting out of a bad relationship, and that I needed to be on my own for a while to figure things out. She understood. She just smiled and said, "I'll be here when you're ready." On Friday, I went back to the apartment with my brother. Megan's car was gone, which was a good sign. We walked in and the place was a mess. She had taken her things, but she had also done some damage out of spite. There were scratches on the hardwood floors and a smear of what looked like lipstick on the living room wall. And she had left a pile of my gym clothes in the middle of the floor, cut to shreds with a pair of scissors. My brother just shook his head. We spent the day cleaning up the mess and changing the locks. That evening, for the first time in a long time, my apartment felt like my home again. It was quiet and peaceful. The weeks that followed were the best I'd had in years. I was free. I focused on my work, my fitness, and my friendships, and I started seeing Ariana. Our first date was simple. Just dinner at a quiet Italian place. It was easy. We talked for hours. She made me laugh. She listened. She respected me. It was a revelation. We started spending all of our free time together. Hiking, going to concerts, cooking dinner at my place. It was a healthy, happy adult relationship. About 2 months after the breakup, Ariana and I were at the gym, and she was taking some new photos for her professional website. She had asked if she could use my transformation as a testimonial. I agreed. We took a before picture from my phone. One Megan had taken of me on vacation a year ago, where I looked miserable and out of shape. Then we took an after picture, right there in the gym. The difference was stunning. It wasn't just the weight loss or the muscle. It was the look in my eyes. In the first picture, I looked defeated. In the second, I looked alive. That night, Ariana posted the pictures on her Instagram. It was a professional post aimed at attracting new clients. She wrote a long caption about the power of dedication and hard work. She praised my commitment and my positive attitude, and then she ended it with a line that she had asked me about beforehand. "I'm so proud of my amazing client and even prouder to call him my boyfriend. Congratulations on all your hard work, Alex." I didn't think much of it at the time. My social media is pretty private, and I don't have many mutual connections with Megan. I was wrong. Apparently, Amber, Megan's friend who had recommended Ariana in the first place, still followed Ariana's professional account. Amber saw the post and immediately sent it to Megan. The explosion was nuclear. My phone started blowing up about an hour after the post went live. First, it was Megan. Voicemails, dozens of them, each one more unhinged than the last. She was screaming, sobbing. She accused me of cheating on her with Ariana the entire time. She called Ariana horrible names. She said I had used her money, the money she paid for the initial training sessions, to seduce another woman. Then the texts started. They were from Megan, from Amber, from numbers I didn't recognize. "You're a disgusting pig," one of them read. "You were sleeping with my trainer behind my back," Megan wrote. "I'm going to ruin her business and I'm going to sue you." Her smear campaign was as pathetic as it was predictable. She and Amber started leaving fake 1-star reviews on Ariana's business page, claiming she was unprofessional and had inappropriate relationships with clients. They tried to get her in trouble with the gym. It didn't work. Ariana had a stellar reputation, and the gym management knew her well. They saw the reviews for what they were, a jealous ex's tantrum, and deleted them. Ariana's real clients rallied around her, leaving a flood of positive reviews that buried the fake ones. Megan's attempt to ruin her backfired spectacularly. Then she came after me. She sent a rambling, incoherent email to my boss, accusing me of harassment and of stealing from her. It was so full of lies and grammatical errors that my boss just forwarded it to me with a note that said, "Looks like you have a crazy ex. Let me know if you need anything." She had no power, no leverage. All she had was her own rage, and it was consuming her. The final, pathetic act came a week later. She showed up at my apartment, pounding on the door, demanding to be let in. I called the police. When they arrived, she was still on my doorstep, screaming that I had stolen her life from her. The officers listened patiently, then informed her that if she didn't leave the property, she would be arrested for trespassing. The sight of her, red-faced and defeated, being escorted away by the police, wasn't satisfying. It was just sad. I haven't heard from her since. I heard through the grapevine that she had to move out of the city. She couldn't afford it on her own, and she had alienated most of her friends with her obsessive, destructive behavior. Amber eventually cut her off, tired of the constant drama. Last night, Ariana and I were cooking dinner in my kitchen, my quiet, peaceful kitchen. We were laughing about something stupid when she wrapped her arms around me from behind. "I'm proud of you," she said. And I knew she wasn't just talking about the gym. She was proud of the man I had become, the man who stood up for himself, the man who refused to be someone's embarrassing project. The anniversary gift Megan gave me was meant to be an insult. But in the end, it was the best gift I ever received. It led me here to this moment with a woman who sees me for who I am. And that's a transformation that has nothing to do with before and after pictures. I pulled her closer and kissed her. I was finally home,